GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.
The first time I met Shah Rukh, I remember I did a film called Duplicate also. And I enjoyed every moment of it. He was so full of beans, he was so full of life. Mahesh Bhatt was saying, Duplicate, you have to come and meet your. Can I do it like this? Can I fall? Can I do? Beans, hello, not needed, but he was. If you talk of energy and putting his whole and soul into something, it is Shah Rukh Khan. On the sets of Dilwale, he was a different Shah Rukh.
And he's also seen a lot of his mother in you.
And now that you're saying this, and I wish he would speak to me. But he didn't. He never did.
Is there a defense that you have towards grief when you've gone through or when you feel it?
I look towards my son.
Yeah.
And I get a great bit of relief there. That's my only way.
You worked in K3G with Jaya Bachchan and Amitabh Bachchan,
Yeah.
who were both your friends.
Yeah.
Was there any difference between how it was back in the day versus how it is now when they were dating versus how they are married?
It was lovely getting back, reconnecting with Jaya. I've always been very fond of her. This friendship, this bond, we don't meet so often, but that will always remain. Always send a little message on my birthday. So that connect is there. It'll be there forever, I hope and pray.
What about those days? Do you remember any fond memory and any fond incident?
They used to take me to them for the drives to the Taj, as I've said earlier, have coffee there and come back. Just imagine the threesome. That long drive from Pali Hill. But they were in Juhu, in fact.
Yes. You guys were the first lot of people from the industry to know about Ajay sir and Kajol ma'am.
Yeah.
So did you meet him on? Did he come to the sets?
No, never, ever. No. Ajay is such a darling also.
What did he tell you?
Kajol. No, I won't tell you that.
But talking about the films, there was a film that changed, I think, my entire childhood.
Which one?
It was Dilwale Dulhaniya Le
Le
Jayenge.
Jayenge. Oh, yeah.
I think I became a journalist because I was a huge Shah Rukh Khan fan.
Really?
My mother is sitting behind the camera. She can tell you. I've cried. I used to dislike Amrish Puri because as a child, I used to only think that he's after Shah Rukh Khan's life in every movie. And as a child, you feel like, why is this man not liking Shah Rukh Khan in any film? And then there was this moment where my mother, I don't know why, she took me to watch Koila when she knew I'm a crazy child. And she went with all my nursery friends. I was barely 4 years old when Koila released. And then that intermission scene is like, Gala kaat dete. I have cried so much. My mother is so embarrassed. She had to take me out of the hall. And she really didn't watch a movie with me for the longest time because she was embarrassed by me. But then, you have worked with him so closely.
Yeah.
But you worked with him before that also, which is Dil Ashna Hai, if I am not.
Yes.
And, I read his book. He said that I was newly married and then I started my career in Mumbai. And he came to he was shooting for 3 films together. One was Hema Malini's directorial film, which was Dil Ashna Hai. And Gauri ma'am, and apparently when they came, Gauri ma'am spent the first night in Mumbai in the green room of Dil Ashna Hai set.
Oh Lord,
This
really?
is in a book that I've read. Did you know about this?
No, I didn't.
Did you meet
I
them?
didn't know. This is news to me, really?
Yeah. It's in the book. It's in the book that I've read, Shah Rukh Khan. If I'm not mistaken, this is a part of the book that, and he speaks about it, that I feel so sad that my wife, I was busy giving a take and it took time, and I came back and I saw that Gauri has slept off in the green room with all the mosquitoes. Which
book is this?
Shah Rukh Khan. It's Mushtaq Sheikh's book.
I need to read this.
I will send it over to you.
Wow.
Yeah.
But Shah Rukh was so full of beans. The first time I met Shah Rukh, I remember I did a film called Duplicate also.
Bebe.
After. Yeah, being his mother and that as well. Because every film produced by ESG, I had to be in it. Yes, Johar also and yes, Chopra also. So, I had this opportunity of being with him in so many films and I enjoyed every moment of it. He was so full of beans, he was so full of life. Mahesh Bhatt would say in Duplicate, you have to come and meet your. Can I do it like this? Can I fall? Can I do? Beans, hello, not needed, but he was such a इतनी energy मैंने किसी में नहीं देखी. All the people I've worked with, if you talk of energy and putting his whole and soul into something, it is Shah Rukh Khan. I have to give it to the boy. So good, so good, so on with everything. इतना करो नहीं वो उतना करके जाएगा. So you have to give it to him. Uh, I've enjoyed every moment of my journey with him and done so many films and played his mother. And I really feel that feeling of the mother-son with Shah Rukh. I really feel that. And since he didn't have a mother in his life now, so I always feel that I must give him more and more of all the mamta I can, you know. It would come naturally to me.
You know,
And
has faced.
he also, yes. The way he would behave, the way he's a full on, absolutely, leaving nothing. He will leave nothing. Everything would put into a shot. That, kya baat hai.
But do you remember your first meeting with him? Did you meet him on the Dil Ashna sets?
Yeah, I did. But he was shy. He was not very open and he was very shy and kept in his own, to his own. I remember that of him. After that, on the sets of Dilwale, he was a different Shah Rukh. You know, success does that to you also. It gives you a push. And he was quite very comfortable with the SG and that whole, with Adi especially.
Yes.
Very, very nice. Very nice. Adi was so good to work with. So warm, so good, so bang on everything. Nothing left to be done, you know, like you couldn't complain of anything on the sets of an Aditya Chopra film. Everything was so perfect.
In the 90s, ma'am, I remember this. There's a video of this. You used to host a talk show.
Yeah.
And you had invited Shahrukh sir for one of the interviews. This is a very personal story. I have always been belittled for being a little girly. And I remember when you were talking to him about the love that he gets from women and a lot of people. At that point, he was not the typical manly action hero. He was the romantic chocolate boy hero. And you had asked him a question like that. And he had answered it so beautifully. I don't know if there's a clip. There should be. There must be one because I have seen it. I've seen it in old archives where he says that I'm happy that people think like I talk and walk like a woman because women are, if I'm not mistaken, over ambitious and women are ambitious and they're multitaskers and they're over sympathetic and sensitive, and I would like to imbibe all those qualities. So if they think, I've always used that. I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Like secretly, I've always felt that I'm a sensitive child, so maybe that's why that side comes. But those interviews were so raw. Like I have seen so many of your interviews with so many actors.
Yeah.
And so candid.
Yeah,
You miss
absolutely.
those days because today everything is so rehearsed.
I swear, yes. That was straight from the heart now.
Yeah.
That was so good. That's how it should be now, beta. They've spoiled it all. Let me tell you.
Even when you played mothers in all the roles, you know, at that point हम लोग social stereotypes में जीते थे. 80s 90s में 80s और 90s के ज़माने में बहुत social prejudices थे for women, men in general कि ये एक लड़का नहीं करता, ये एक लड़की नहीं करती. और आपने ऐसे ऐसे roles किए हैं जहाँ पे you have actually, if you look at the films that you've done, even the DDLJ, the kind of strength that you give your daughter against your own husband.
Yes.
Not many women who are mothers had the power to do that.
In fact, there's a scene in which I tell them, run away.
Yes, that's what I was coming to.
I tell Shah Rukh, take her and just go. And before I become weak, just let me do this and let me see you go. But he says no, and he sits me down, and such a lovely scene. I think the culmination of the scene was so beautiful. When what he has in his heart, he comes out with that and says, "Tell me, am I wrong or am I right?" He's right, obviously.
Even kya kehna?
Yeah.
The way you're supportive towards Preeti Zinta's character. You know, I think did you always sense you've always been a very fearless person, not conforming to social norms from what I've read and what I can understand after a brief
I never would. Yeah.
Did you always look for that part even when you were playing a mother on screen?
Yeah, lovely. So I would go full-hearted into the character because that's where I belong. That's what I felt always. That's what I believed in. So those characters were the most beautiful ones I've done. Yeah, true. Very true. How do you know, Nain?
I don't know. I just felt it. I just felt it because when you look at your filmography, it was not the typical mother, son or mother-daughter stories. It was always the mother who was standing up for their kids.
For their kids, yeah.
Even in a Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, I think you are the catalyst.
Yeah.
But
good. I'm happy about that.
But do you feel that we don't make films like that also anymore suddenly? like the
Yeah.
K3Gs and the Kuch Kuch Hota Hai and the Dilwales.
Yeah. I need to pull Mr. Karan Johar up. Banao.
Did you have a conversation with him?
I wish I could. And tell him this. Okay, well, go back to what you were doing. You were the best. Adi, those were the best films, now, don't you think? I felt. I also felt. They should make those films again.
वो सारे clippings निकाले हैं ना उन्होंने from the DDLJ sets and everything. The kind of fun that you guys have had, the kind of shots that were taken.
Yeah.
After DDLJ, nobody could see Aditya Chopra anywhere.
Yeah.
But you've seen that man in person and you've seen what he can create.
Yeah.
And you worked with his father. So I want to know, like, do you see difference? What was the differences that you noticed between the father and the son?
नहीं, ऐसी कोई रेफरेंस मैं नहीं बोल सकती, but I remember telling him once on one of the gullies of Filmistan studio where the whole film was made. Our London house was also in Filmistan studio. People felt we went to London and all that. So nice, so believable it was all. So I told him once, I remember I told him, I held his hand and said, Adi, I'm not saying this because you're Yash Chopra's son. I'm saying this as an actor to a director. What I felt working with you is something very different. And please be what you are today. Please be the same always, because you've made a beautiful film. They're on the sets, I've told him this. And it's not because you're SG's son. You have done something very beautiful, Adi, and keep it up. But where? कहाँ DDLJ बने उसके बाद? Nothing close to it, in fact. I hope he makes something like that again. I hope and pray. Because I love Adi. I love Karan, in fact. कुछ कुछ होता है. Look what he achieved with it.
Yeah.
You know, wow.
You know, Karan has gone on record so many times saying that nobody believed. Many people were there who didn't believe in the film at all.
Yeah.
And he came to you. You were one of the first choices for that role. When were you offered the film? And did he also
just
have
after
those
DDLJ,
meltdowns?
and on all the sets of DDLJ, we knew that he was going to make a film.
Yeah.
He spoke to me. He spoke to Shah Rukh and Kajol also
Yeah.
there and there, and we knew. And he came to a studio. I don't know where it was. He narrated "Kuch Kuch Hota Hai," and I remember having cried in one scene. So he just stopped. See, you've connected already, he said to me. He said that to me. I remember that so well. I said, yes, I have connected. And please, make this film. It's going to be something. And it did, mashallah. It did so well. I'm so happy for both the boys. Lovely.
Which is that scene that you cried in?
I don't know which one, but I remember I cried and he said that to me. See, you've connected. I said, yeah, I have. So, lovely. Lovely, lovely. Even in DDLJ, the narration was something. And I've always said that people cut things and cut paste hota hai filmon mein. But DDLJ was a film which whatever he narrated was on celluloid. It was something so genuine, so good, so out of the box. I mean.
When you speak about Shah Rukh sir, I was going to come to that. You actually mentioned it very briefly in one of the things that we spoke about when Dil Aashna Hai ke bare mein. He's also been, he's a Scorpio. So what happens is, he also आपकी तरह अपने दुख को दबाते हैं मुझे लगता है. और and I've read his interviews where he says that every time he goes to Delhi, he goes to the place where his parents have been buried, and he goes and he does a little prayer. He's lost his parents at a very young age. Even in that book, he's spoken about it. And he's also seen a lot of his mother in you. Did you ever get to a point where you could discuss, where he has ever spoken to you about?
No, I wish he would. I wish he would. Oh my God. And now that you're saying this, and I wish he would speak to me. But he didn't. He never did.
But do you feel that?
I feel that when I know that he's lost his parents. So when with him, I would want to give him that love and, what he must have missed out in his life. So I tried to do that without telling him. But I don't know. Anyway, God bless him.
Yeah. I remember this. अभी उन्होंने एक interview दिया है Netflix पे, where somebody like David Letterman के साथ, I think the interview is there, and he says so wonderfully that when my mother was terminally ill and the doctor had almost given up, he went and he said that he kept saying, I will become a bad person, I will do this, I will do that, because somebody told him that if your mother thinks that her work on this planet is unfinished, then she will not go. So he was like, this is my way of stopping her. I'll tell her that I'm a bad son. I will do this. I will do that. It's very, it's grief is a less talked about emotion, and it is so sad. Is there a defense that you have towards grief when you've gone through or when you feel it?
No, no, the pain will never, 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 never go. I don't know. I don't know if there's any way out of that grief. Uh, it's there with me. It'll be there for always. I don't have any way of letting it go. I don't know how to do that, but that will always remain, beta. There's no way out. But one has to learn to live with it. That's it. I look towards my son,
Yeah.
and I get a great bit of relief there. That's my only way I deal with that grief. I look towards my son and I feel a lot better. That's it.
How sweet. How sweet. When you worked on Kuch Kuch Hota Hai with Karan for the first time, recently there were 2 interviews that you gave, and where you said that you've done so many films with Yash Ji and you've done so many films with Karan. And then there was a point, even Student of the Year, you were there as Siddharth's Nani. It was such a heartfelt role again.
Yeah, yeah.
And then there was a point where you felt like, there was no work coming from them. Did that bother you?
That did, that did. It still does. It's not that any actor would feel the way I felt, because at the very beginning of their careers, if they think you're going to be there and they can hold your hand, and we were the senior people then, but now there always comes a time when you also need to be held, and if they're not there, it hurts. That's all. That's all I said. It hurts when you're not there, when they're not there for you. And I would love to do so much of work more with Adi and with Karan. I love them like my own, because I've seen that part of them, at the beginning of the career. They were insecure and all of that. And they were such lovely, both of them were so good. And they made such good films. And even now, if they can make a good film and with me in it, I would be so, so, so happy. And I miss that. That's all I said.
Did you ever reach out to them?
I can't do that, Bita. I'm not that kind of a person. I feel it is for them to think, and want me. I can't. I'm not the kind of person who will reach out and say things like that. But इस interview में बोला तो people have out of पता नहीं क्या कुछ बोल दिया है, headlines कर देते हैं, things I haven't said. So that also hurts. I'm a little careful now.
No, absolutely. We were not doing any of that.
I know, Nan. You're not like that. I know. So I'm open to you. I'm saying what I need to say, but otherwise I've not said things which have been put out of proportion and headlines करके people have used it. I'm a little hurt there because they are family to me. That's Yes Ji, yes Johar also, great people. I miss them.
You worked in K3G with Jaya Bachchan and Amitabh Bachchan, who are both your friends.
Yeah.
And they've continued to be friends with you for so many years. How was like when you guys were working in K3G? You, like you said, you were the senior lot of actors there. What did you sense? Like, was there any difference between how it was back in the day versus how it is now, when they were dating versus how they are married? And then I think your role was also amazing. Daijan, I think, is iconic.
Yeah, it was lovely. Daijan was lovely. I enjoyed every minute. It was lovely getting back, reconnecting with Jaya. I've always been very fond of her. This friendship, this bond, we don't meet so often, but that will always remain. Just now, there's a little message in which she said she loved me in Heeramandi. So that happens. That is lovely. I love it. And Amit ji will always send a little message on my birthday. So that connect is there. It'll be there forever, I hope and pray. I love them both. Especially Jia she's not Jia, she's Jia for me. And will always be. We had some lovely days when we were friends and we were beginners, all of us. So that thing was different. But now we're into our own lives. We don't meet that often, but the connect will always remain.
But what about those days? Do you remember any fond memory and any fond incident that?
Yeah, like they used to take me to them for the drives to the Taj, as I've said earlier. have coffee there and come back. Just imagine the threesome. What are we going to that to have coffee and come back? That long drive from Pali Hill. But they were in Juhu, in fact.
Yes.
So those fond memories will always, always remain.
But you've seen them closely, ma'am. Like, people, उस ज़माने के लोगों को हम मिल भी नहीं सकते क्योंकि they've already reached a position where they have disconnected themselves from especially the media. But you have seen them in their truest, authentic self. How were they as people? Like you said that they were friends to you. What is it that always made you feel special around them, that they had that one quality which made you feel not neglected, not like this one extra person? Like,
They are lovely people. Let me tell you this, Neha. They are very good people. Jaya and Amit, very good people, very genuine. कोई नकली बात नहीं उनके में. Especially Jaya, my God.
yeah,
She is like, hello.
I love her.
I love her for that. I love her. And Amit ji also. अंदर से जो है, I know ना, so it's okay. Very, very good people.
But you work with in Kuch Kuch Hota Hai again. A lot of times Kajol ma'am has said, and Shahrukh sir has always joked about Kajol ma'am falling down and losing her consciousness, and that time they were dating. So did you guys were the first lot of people from the industry to know about Ajay sir and Kajol ma'am.
Yeah.
So did you meet him on? Did he come to the sets?
No, never, never, ever, ever. No. Ajay, never, ever. But he spoke to me at length at another film that we did together, and I knew about them. And lovely, all of them. Ajay is such a darling also.
What did he
Then
tell you?
Kajol. No, I won't tell you that. I wanted Kajol, and they were getting married that time, and lovely, I thought. Kajol is such a darling. If she loves you, she'll kill you to death. She'll hug you like this, इतने जोर से कि आपकी जान निकल जाए. And if she doesn't like you, beta, she'll show it to you. वो भी काजल है. बहुत बिंदास, बहुत open. आपको नहीं पसंद तो नहीं पसंद. She'll show it. I don't like you.
And I love that about her. Like, good way.
In a good way.
In a very good way, yeah.
I've always been very fond of her.
Yeah.
Very, very. Done so many films with her. She's a darling girl. Then her mother, I've been admiring Tanuja ji all my life now. Love Tanuja ji, Tanuja ji. Ardent fan भी ना रही मैं. Then उनकी बेटी. To be playing my beti was something. She used to come to the sets once in a while. Tanuja ji would come during Dilwale Dulhaniya. Just once in a while, she would come, meet us all and go. Tanisha is also a lovely girl.
Yeah, she's lovely.
So all of them, lovely people.
But when you worked on K3G and you had such a great working relationship with, of course, Karan and Jaya ji, is it true that you were also supposed to do another film with Jaya ji which didn't happen, which was Kal Ho Na Ho? Which the entire crew actually...
Yes, I was to do Kal Ho Na Ho. But then it didn't fall into place because I just played the same age in K3G. And then to be playing her mother-in-law, people won't believe in it, and I would film. Yeah, it's not right to do something which is not believable also. And I wasn't very happy about playing that character. So I said, maybe both. I think both even Karan must have thought about it later on, and me too. The offer had come.
Yeah.
I'd come. So that's how that didn't happen.
But then you did TV, ma'am.
Yeah.
And at that point, I have seen this interview of yours. See, I've done full research. जहाँ पे आपने बहुत एक पुराने इंटरव्यू में आपने बोला था, किसी ने आपसे पूछा था कि आपने तो टीवी किया, तो आपने वहाँ पे बोला था कि जब हमारे जैसे आर्टिस्ट्स को अच्छे खासे रोल्स नहीं मिलते जो हम डिजर्व करते हैं, then we take up TV and we didn't have a choice.
Yeah.
When you started TV, nobody knew what a Dekh Bhai Dekh would be.
Yeah.
But before that, how many people were you also scared? Because at that point, from films to TV, people used to look down upon anybody who would make that transition.
I wouldn't look down at all on TV, at all. Even now I'm saying it loud and clear. Actors like me, as I've said earlier, were stuck into a certain thing, who just get this much of screen time and no more, and this kind of a role and no more.
Yeah.
Slotted into one kind of character, like border wali sari or a grey bal. Ma, dadi, dadi, that's it. So actors like me opt for TV when TV offers you something more.
Absolutely.
And the producer says, be yourself. You're not Lakshmi or Karuna or Krishna, or you're not. You're just be yourself. And that's a very big high for any actor. You can do what you want with a character, dress as you want, do what you want. And तो वो तो मुझे करना ही था. Any actor would say yes to that. Any actor. If you're an actor, nothing else then.
Absolutely. And
Then,
nobody could recreate
yeah.
Dekh Bhai Dekh even till
Dekh by
date.
Dekh, आज भी when I see it on, my God, I'm so proud of that. And Mr. Anand Mehndru created that thing and produced by Jaya. So I could have तो करना ही करना था, no matter what. It was produced by her, imagine.
How did the offer come to you? Not
It
many
came
people
through.
know that.
Anand Mehndru called, and I with my mother used to I went to his office to meet him, and he narrated the thing, and I was like, wow, this is something out of the blue now for me. So I said, wow. And then Jaya की तरफ से भी phone आया था, and then Shami auntie was alive then, who was very close to her, and she was very close to Jaya. That I was saying this, that something about the dates that happened, and I wasn't being able to accommodate Anand. And then he said, कुछ हो ऐसा. Shami auntie called me and said, can you say no to and Dekh by Dekh? I said, no, I'm not saying no, things are not happening. I'm little this about the schedule. She said, no, Farida, no matter what, do it. You're going to be yourself. You're going to dress like how you all normally dress. You're going to look how you all normally look. Not going to be made old and put a white patch on your head and wear a border wali sari and just say beta all the time. Don't you want to do this? Chummy auntie is such a darling. I said, yeah, I want to. I'm dying to. No, no, just do it. And she spoke to my mother also. My mother was alive. She spoke to my mother, I remember. And then सबसे बड़ी बात है, who's producing it? She was very, very close to Jay. And I was like, so I said, yeah, I'm dying to do this. In fact, during Dekh by Dekh also, Jay had spoken to me about other things also on TV. Should we do this together again? In fact, it didn't happen, of course, but she did. The Oprah Winfrey show, she wanted me to do a show like that because I was dressing up very well during Dekh by Dekh and all. She said, dress like this and you can even do a show like that. Let's think on those terms. It didn't happen though. But that's what we also had in mind.
But then came Heeramandi.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I know we are coming to Heeramandi towards the fag end of our conversation, but of course, oh my God, the warmth that your character had in a crowd filled with people who had their hidden agendas, who were so manipulative, corrupt in different ways. Oh my God! I think when you have watched the whole season, I remember that call and I told you that you're the only character that is the heart of Heeramandi. Did
So
you
sweet.
feel the same when you watched
So
it?
sweet. No, no. When I watched it,
Yes.
my God, I was so taken aback by the Heeramandi group, the lovely actors, all of them, the 5 girls. Manisha was a shocking, absolutely. Oof, Manisha and Sonakshi. I could never believe that this side of them, never seen it, never imagined it. So, and then Sangeeta, so pretty,
Yes.
so lovely.
Lovely.
Richa, that first song touched the heart like Aditya, it's so beautiful. Beautiful. Her Mujra, her song
Yeah.
was like, so my God, Heeramandi was something, huh? He creates that world, see? We all begin to believe in it. He took us into that era. जो भी था नकली है असली है ट्रू स्टोरी है नहीं है पता नहीं बट आई बिलीव्ड एवरीथिंग आई सॉ आई लव्ड इट आई
Absolutely.
वेंट विद द फ्लो
It's a world that he
या ही
created.
क्रिएटेड ही इज ऑलवेज नोन फॉर दैट
What was the first call that he had with you? What did you guys speak about?
He said, the first shot is you're sitting with a group of Nawabzadis all over, like you, having a nice party. Your son has just come back from abroad, and you have a glass of wine in one hand and a cigarette in the other. I froze. मैं ठंडी पड़ गई. Sir, I've never done this. I've never gone that way. In fact, I've refrained. There have been some such instances in my life, instances in which such kind of roles did come my way, and I've always said a little no to that. I didn't want to. I was not comfortable with it.
Yeah.
So I said to him, I said, sir, I won't know how to hold a cigarette, and I'll look false. He didn't say a word to me. But what a great man. And he didn't even speak about it after that meeting. He just did away with it. I was very tense. But He did. He understood that I'm not comfortable. I don't want to do that. And look at it. अब आप हीरामंडी देख के आपको नहीं लगता एक अलग ही चीज हो गई?
बिल्कुल.
I would have been well, like one of Heeramandi people. What they are doing, we are doing here.
Yeah.
It would have been a little similar to that. So मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा देखकर. And I'm sure he must have felt the same. That good we didn't go that way, you know. And I would have been very uncomfortable because I don't do those kind of things. Never did, refrained always and wanted to be and still want to be that way till I go.
But Heeramandi season 2 is coming, and I'm pretty sure when they showed the first 2 episodes at the screening, they only showed 2 episodes at the screening.
They showed them.
And I know the kind of love that people have had for you even after watching the whole series.
Yes.
Have you looked at the comments that have come for you? Their Instagram is flooding with comments and saying, why is she not there in everything? Where has she been? Oh my God, she has taken the cake. Oh my God, she is so good. Oh my God, we've missed her.
Wow.
Because you've been a part of all our childhoods and nobody can take that away.
Lovely, na? How lovely.
You have worked with Shah Rukh sir and Salman sir on a film set. And I'll tell you something, we shot a similar episode with Johnny Bhai. And Johnny sir said that on Karan Arjun set, everybody used to think that there is a problem between the two of them. All the actors. They used to think that there's a problem between the two of them. And then there was some party on the set and Salman sir actually took a gun and shot at Shah Rukh sir. And he fell down.
Okay.
And everybody got shocked only to realize that they were like making
a
joke of their opinion that they were having a fight. Like, hum log, you expected us to fight like this. Did you see that? Sweet. Because by the time you did a Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Salman sir came quite later into the project. Like nobody was wanting to do that role, and there was good brotherhood between the two of them because I know that he gave away one of his awards to Salman sir at an awards. But how did you see both of them bond? Were there any kind of like friction? Where did you see only them like bonding like
they
boys?
were bonding very well. There was no friction. I didn't see anything. Maybe I don't know. I didn't see anything of the kind. And Salman is so large-hearted. He won't उन चीज़ों में जाएगा ही नहीं. Salman is something else. He's a darling. शेर बेटा है वो. He doesn't go into all these things. No, not at all. Shah Rukh also, my God, he knew what he was. Shah Rukh was so confident of himself now. Everything ends there. अपने आप पे जो उसको था, and he's proven it. King Khan.
That's true.
Underline that.
Coming back to the question that apart from Dilip Kumar, who are the other people who gave you fond memories of working with them?
Raj Kapoor Saab. Lots of love for him.
Yeah.
In fact, that's how I got into Henna, let me tell you. Because of that link from Bobby. And there were so many. Satyajit Ray Saab. I'm so fortunate that I worked with such a great director.
And that's why, there's magic in the world that you have lived in.
Yeah.
And there's magic in the legacy that you've created. And honestly, ma'am, this legacy will be taken forward by your son. Inshallah. But at the same time, I do, as a person who belongs to this generation, representing this generation, also agree that I wish there was a little more warmth in this generation, a little more attachment, which I think was the main reason why movies were made. तब के ज़माने में इतना contractual, इतना transactional चीज़ें होती ही नहीं थी. तब के दिल में
God bless you, Dan. God bless you that you are like this and may you always be like this.
Always.
कई बार लगता होगा ना, I'm sure.
But thank you for this conversation because I will take this date till the end of life because this has been one of my warmest conversations. And कभी भी मुझे लोग पूछते हैं कि यार इतने conversations किए हैं, which is your favorite? From tomorrow, if anybody asks me, I know which one's going to be my favorite. Thank you for being the person you are.
May God bless you forever and ever, and every happiness in the world come your way, inshallah.
GT Holidays, South India's #1 travel brand.